Hello and welcome to another Android Studios series. So today I'm going to talk about login screen, how to design a proper login screen. But before that, let me put a disclaimer. I'm not saying that the method I'm using is basically the only way of doing the login screen or any screen for Android application, but this is basically how I do it. Alright, so let's assume that I'm developing what we call as a food application. So I'm going to create a new project. So let's just assume this is an empty project. I'm going to give the name of the application, let's say Food Ninja. Nothing to do with any current Food Ninja application and whatnot. This is just for an example, and then finish. So this is just login screen. I do have the example that I already developed together with the splash screen, login screen, and then registration screen. But for this class, for this topic, I'm going to show how to design a proper login screen. Okay, so let's start with our activity main. So since this is a login activity, I would like to change this activity to a different activity name. So let me refactor this, rename. Instead of main activity, I'm going to put as login activity. So refactor, and also together with our layout. So the layout here, I'm going to refactor to the activity login. And please check your manifest, make sure that your main launcher set to login activity. So by default, refactor should automatically update with the proper codes or proper activity and XML for any file that we replace or change the name. Alright, so we'll start with our login screen design. So I'm going to have something like username, using email, password, with the remember me button, and then login button, and finally with the forgot password or registration link. So those are basically the design or traditional design of a login screen. Alright, so this is basically my method. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I don't like to use constraint layout. Until today, I never use constraint layout for my application. So I always use linear layout because I found out that linear layout is much easier for me to control. So I always use linear layout as the parent layout. Or if you like to take care of the smaller screen size, so if you want to make sure that your screen size will always scrollable if you are running on anything smaller on different orientation, you can also use a scroll view. So you can change the parent layout as a scroll view here, and then you can put one linear layout inside as parent layout, because scroll view can only accept one child. So this is basically the parent layout now. So the parent layout here will contain our login screen, our login input. So we are going to have one email, and then one password. So you can use password generic, and then we need button, which is checkbox for remember me, and then we're going to have two text link. Do we have any link? We just use normal text view for the registration, and also for the for the registration and also forgot password link. Alright, so this is basically the skeleton. So I'm going to design this to have this in the middle of the screen. So we need to set our linear layout to match parent, and then for scroll view also to match parent, and set this gravity for the layout, for the parent layout of the component that we put into to center, and then alright, so for this to work, we need to make sure that because we are using scroll view, we need to add additional field viewport so that our scroll view will take full screen of the view. Okay, so if you don't set viewport for the scroll view, you're not going to be able to get a full screen view. Alright, so now you have your linear layout to set to the height to match parent, and then gravity to center. You're going to have the following design. Alright, so you want to make it in terms of the component here, just way near to the edge of the screen. So you might need to adjust in terms of the margin left and right. So let's say margin left and right we set to 20 and also 20 for the margin right, so that we can have our input somewhere not touching too much to the screen edge. Alright, so the next step is that we need to provide some information. I forgot to include one thing, that is the button, the login button. Alright, so the login button should be somewhere right after password, so we put it there. So that is basically our login button. Okay, so now this is our email, so we might need to use hint. So here what we need to do, instead of we hard-coded the hint, we use the resource option here. Click on this 3 dotted button and add new resource, new string. We can just use email as our resource name, your email. Put resource value as your email, and the second one for the hint of the password, we use also the same add new resource, new string, your password as the resource name, with your password as the value. And then email, sync here, hint, your email. Okay, so now you have your email, your password, and for the button, we can use also hint, not hint. For button, you need to hard-coded the text. Not hard-coded, again, use add real resource, new string value. Give it a login. And for the checkbox here, we're going to use our tag. So instead of that, hard-coded, again, add new resource, new string, remember me. So remember me, as our tag, and down here this is for registration. So again, new registration, new, or we give it register here, and down here for the forgot password, add new resource, forgot password. Okay, so you might want to have the following gravity for both. To center, set to center, so you get something like this. Okay, now you have your basic or foundation or the design of your layout for login screen. Alright, so to make things easy, after this I'm going to show you additional component or additional files that needed to somehow modify the button that we have here, and also the color scheme, and then we like to remove the taskbar for this application. So we're going to do that after this. Alright, so let's start with our button. So this button doesn't look nice, it's just a plain boring button. So what we need now is somehow a custom button design. So for that you need a new XML file, a resource file that manage the button properties. Alright, so for that you need to access Drawable. You need to right click new file. So you might you need to choose a Drawable, press OK. So the file name, it can be anything that basically will describe about the button, because we can use this file later to modify some other button using the same properties. Alright, so give it button square .xml. So you're going to have this file. So inside here we're going to have the following properties. So this is basically shape properties, shape XML file that define the shape of the button. So what we have here, shape, the padding for the button, and the shape type is rectangle. And later I'm going to talk about the color primary dark or the color setup for that particular button. And we need also to set the corner of the button, because we like to have our button with a little bit of curve or corners. Alright, so now we have this button square set up in drawable.xml. So we can just go back to activity login, and then we can set the background of this button. So we just go to the properties, set the background, select the background. So you can look under drawable, can see that there's a button square option here, because the default color here is green, I believe, and then just press OK. And then now you have yourself your button turned to green. That is for button. So if you look inside the button login, and then the color of the button, it doesn't seem to suit your design or the profile or the theme of the application. Later we're going to change that. But for now, the second thing that we need to do is that we need to remove, if you like to, you need to remove the taskbar up here. And to do that, we need to modify the following. You need to add under style. Right, so to remove action bar, so you need to add under item, under styles, with one particular styles that describe about no action bar. If you like to do that, you can also choose from activity login here. So in this activity login, you can choose the app theme with no action bar. So it means that this particular screen will contain no action bar, and you can have like a full screen login for your application. Alright, so one more thing that is missing here is a proper logo. So we're going to use one image. So let's say the image that I'm going to use is somehow related. So I just download the image from the internet, so just a disclaimer, but I am not going to use this for any commercial use. It's just a free tutorial for everybody to learn about programming. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to create an application. You need to use, or you need to download anything from the internet, or you can also design using CS6 Photoshop, and then right, so you can create a new file in your Photoshop. So I found out the perfect size, not perfect, but it is kind of good trade-off for quality is about 400 times 400 pixel for any square image. So set the background to transparent and press OK. So if you have any other image that you like to use, maybe you can just put it inside here. So for example, here I'm interested with this logo. So Food Ninja would like to change the background color. You can easily change if you want to make the background here as transparent. That is up to you how you want to design your application. So let's say I would like to change the background color. So instead of this color, I'm interested in having red color. So this red color and black, they're going to be my theme for the application. So this is red. I'm going to populate this. Okay, so this is the logo of my application, Food Ninja. Alright, so I'm going to save this. Save as PNG. Food Ninja Red, and save as PNG type. Make sure all small letter. So now my logo, the application logo is this Food Ninja Red, this one. Right, so now you have the file already. You have the image file, and you need to import this image file into your application. So all you have to do is just copy and then paste into your bitmap. Control V, and then paste Food Ninja.red, press OK. Now you have Food Ninja.red, Food Ninja Red inside your bitmap. And then we need to add our image view to our layout here. So I'm going to put it up here and choose the drawable from project Food Ninja. Right, so this is our logo here. Alright, so and now I want to change the button because it doesn't look nice here. So the button, the theme of the application, I need to look for a better theme. Okay, so green and red, it doesn't seem like a good combination. So to choose color, so before that, there's a file here called color.xml. So this is basically define the way that your application basic theme. There are color primary, there are color primary dark, and there are color accent. So all this define for your theme and color that's being used in your application. So the easiest way is that to get the hexadecimal value and add your color to this resource. So I would like to change the theme of this application. So the first thing that I would like to change is the color primary dark. So the red color. So I'm using a web called coolcolors.co, and for here you can use these features to automatically generate for your color scheme. So the first thing that I need to do is that I need to get my primary color here. So my primary color here defined as the following hexadecimal color. So I'm going to put it here. So this is the default color. I'm going to lock this color. This is my primary color, and I'm going to press space bar. Oops, it didn't lock. Okay, so you need to lock and then press space bar. So you look which color that it seems like suited your application theme. So let's say now you can just press space bar until you look at it. Does seems like okay. So smoky black, carmine pink, coral reef, carrot gray, flavors, dark purple, cloud gold. Going to lock this, and this is as our text. All right, so this is going to be, let's say this is going to be our the theme of our application. So this is our default, so I'm going to change this primary color to this, then to red, my primary dark to red, my primary color to this, and then my text something like this. Alright, so this is my theme now. So there's a black here, this is a red, and this is beach, something like, what is it? Pale golden rod. Alright, so now you can see it basically automatically change the button here, because this button now, the background of the button, it depends on my colors defined here. Right? So if you give it a try to run this on your AVD, you can see the result. But before that, you need to make sure that within your Android manifest you set your login activity theme to no action bar. App theme no action bar. This is very important. You need to point the theme for the login activity. So because this is our login activity, the theme here, even though we set it here, it doesn't seem to work because the activity seems to override the setting. So we need to put inside our activity and add this app theme no action bar, and then give it a try, and you can see how your application will look like without the action bar. Okay, now you can see without the action bar. So you have your logo here, there's no action bar, and this is defined as in our colors as our color primary dark. Okay, so this is our color primary dark set by the application, and then if we have our action bar, the action bar will be black as our color primary, and then the text is going to be color accent. All right, so those are basically the basic just missing for our login, so we need to check again. It's supposed to be there. Okay, so as you can see here now, we now we have now a proper login screen. Okay, so even though you switch the login the device orientation in this order, you can still access the login information because we design our application with scroll view, so you can still access email, and then you can enter, and then for the password also you can enter, and then you can press the login button and press the login me, and then you can still access the register here, forgot password. So it basically still allow for the application to change its orientation and maintain the interface design. Alright, so yeah, this is basically the way that I design my application. So if you don't like this, you might need to increase the text size, but overall this is basically the way that I design my login screen using Android Studio. So there's no programming, it's just all about setting here and there, and then setting your properties correctly, and then set your image size correctly, and then the color of the text. So for example here, the color of the text it turned to black. If you like to have white color for this button, you can just change the color of the button text using text color. If you like the text color to be white, so you might want to add white into your color, so your project color. But Android also provide white color if you like to access that. So if you want to change that into this, so you can have white color as your login screen. Okay, so yeah, that is it for tonight tutorial. So yeah, have fun designing your application. That's all. Until next time.